It gives me great pleasure to invite Shreya Sharma to this edition of Topper Talk. Shreya was part of our SWS courses in the year 2022, did exceedingly well. Hers was a batch which kind of experimented with MCQs for the first time. They had 2 semester exams. So a lot of, you were really guinea pigs in many ways, Shreya. Thank you very much. I hope you are doing well.
First of all, thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to address my juniors. It's my pleasure to be on this platform once again and have a conversation with you.
Right. Shreya is preparing for the NEET, which is why you see the doctor in front. I mean, that's her ambition, and that's what she would aspire to do. And I'm very sure she would crack it. So, Shreya, 1 week to go for the ICSE Class 10 board examinations, which is why this conversation. What would you tell to your juniors? What should they do and not do in terms of, let's address the question about anxiety and panic attacks 1 week before the examination. How do you suggest they should really handle that kind of a situation?
Yes, sir. There's hardly a week left for their board exams, and at this stage, majority of the students are in a state of distress. So a bit of nervousness is absolutely normal, but too much can impact their performance negatively. So I would just say that nearer they come towards a calm and peaceful mind, the closer they will be to mental strength and stability.
Absolutely. Now, before your batch, it was entirely subjective. 2022, 21-22 was the first time the council experimented with the MCQ format. Did that throw you off gear? What were the kind of problems that your batch faced while dealing with the MCQs, or did it make it all very easy?
So first of all, in semester 1, it was entirely MCQ based, and then in semester 2, it got a combination of subjective as well as objective.
Yep.
Honestly, in semester 1, I was not that much prepared for the MCQs. So yes, I did commit mistakes due to which I didn't get a very great score in semester 1. And then I improved all those things in semester 2.
Yeah.
So while you are doing MCQs, the thing that you need to remember is that no matter what question is it, you need to go through all the 4 options, because there can be a googly which the examiner must have thrown in your way.
Yeah.
So make sure that you read each and every option, especially in a subject like English literature. There are chances when you feel like that, okay, option B can also be the correct answer and option C can also be the correct answer. So in that case, you should go for elimination method, read the question properly, and then choose the most suitable and the appropriate option.
Absolutely.
That will be better.
Yeah. In fact, I would point out here, like Shreya did mention that there were a few mistakes that she had made in semester 1, but semester 2, she did exceedingly well. In fact, I was just looking at her marks. I pulled out her mark sheet. In semester 2, her score in English language was 39 on 40, which means she scored full in letter, full in notice email, and a 19 out of 20 in English language, which is very, very credible. 40 on 40 in English literature, 40 on 40 in history civics, 39 out of 40 in geography, 40 on 40 in biology, 39 on 40 in mathematics. So semester 2, as she says, she did exceedingly well, learn from the mistakes. Now, talking about it subject-wise, Shreya, let's talk about biology, which is going to be a subject which you are focusing on. The PCB first. Is there anything that students should be wary of, the kind of mistakes that they should not make?
So in science subjects, I hope that their syllabus and revision must have been done by now.
Yep.
So now they need to focus more on solving papers.
Yep.
At least previous year question papers from the past 5 years, quality sample papers that are available on the app. And in science, you need to be very specific with your keywords. Like for example, in biology, there are questions in which they ask you, tell the particular location. Say adrenal gland, for example, they ask you, tell the location of adrenal gland. So your answer should be that these are the cap-like structures present on top of each kidney. So this is a specific answer which includes your keyword. In that case, the examiner will give you definitely a full 1 mark for that question. So in science, you don't have to beat about the bushes. Just be specific and use the keywords which are important.
Yeah.
And like now we'll go on to chemistry. So what we did in our time in semester two was that Smita ma'am told us to make charts
Yep.
for the chapters, especially for chapters like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid. Because what happens is that when you're doing it all together, it gets intermixed together because there are preparatory steps and all. So
Yep.
what you should have done was that you could have made charts, and in the last few days that are left, just do the revision from those multiple times,
Hmm.
and also focus on balancing the equations because you must be knowing that you can't leave the equation unbalanced.
Hmm.
If you do so, you won't get the full mark.
Hmm.
So make sure that you have a good practice beforehand.
Hmm.
And in physics, numericals are very important.
Yeah.
For solving, because I remember I got very low score in physics in semester one, and
Hmm.
that was majorly because I focused more on theory and not on numericals.
Hmm.
So make sure that you pay attention
Hmm.
equally to both theory part as well as numericals.
Right. Right. And mathematics you have done pretty well.
Yes, sir.
Right.
For maths, I would like to say that make sure that all your topics and basics are clear beforehand.
Hmm.
In case you have any sort of doubts, go get them cleared beforehand from your teacher,
Hmm.
and you should solve as many sample papers, PYQs you can,
Yeah.
because what it will does is that it will boost your confidence and
Hmm.
also increase your speed,
Hmm.
and you will certainly be able to finish the paper within the time limit if you do
Right.
enough practice.
Right. I must
And
tell. Yeah. Continue.
uh, don't spend too much time on those 15 MCQs. I just checked that they have MCQs in maths as well.
Hmm.
So you can find out solution via shortcut. Don't go for step-by-step solution.
Yeah.
In exam, what you should do is that solve those parts which you know first. Don't stick at a particular question.
Hmm.
Attempt the paper once, and then in the second round, tackle those questions which you didn't solve earlier.
Yeah. Correct. Absolutely. So I must tell all the students who are listening to this, like one of the things that marks Shreya, I mean, distinguishes her from other students is that she's an extremely focused kind of a student, very hardworking, learns from her mistakes, which is why she's not shy of talking about the mistakes that she committed so that you guys don't commit the same mistakes. And I think that's a hallmark of someone who's extremely secure with what she is as a personality. And that I think goes to your credit, Shreya. Uh, as far as history, civics, and geography, again, topo sheets and map marking does kind of perplex many students. What would you tell to the students as to what kind of route they should adopt as far as map marking and topo sheets are concerned?
So, in case of geography, you have topo sheet work and map work. You
Hmm.
need to pay attention to it. See, these things don't get clear overnight. You have to put your time and effort to it. Just make sure that you practice a lot so
Hmm.
that you are more clear with the where are the different locations of the cities and the rivers and the mountain ranges, etc. And go get them checked by your teacher. That will be more better.
Hmm.
And make sure that you have a clean marking. Don't scribble too much on the map sheet because that's not presentable.
Hmm.
So make sure that it looks presentable, neat and clean.
Hmm.
That will really help you a lot.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
as far as the theory part is concerned, it has to do with more factual information, and
Hmm.
obviously you need to remember that.
Hmm.
So short notes are very important for geography and history.
Hmm.
The more you solve question papers
Yeah.
and go through your notes, the
Yeah.
more it will get stored in your long-term memory.
Absolutely. Let me finally come to my subject. So I must tell you that Shreya used to write some of the best letters and essays, compositions, which is what reflected in her final score as well. And we always wish that she had joined SWS a little earlier and perhaps not just after the semester one. So, nevertheless, she used to write extremely good letters, and that I think was mainly because she would put in a lot of effort into practicing a number of topics. And that is something, Shreya, you agree that was the secret of success, that you actually practice a large number of topics so that your creative mind is always very active. You're not writing for the first time in the examination hall.
Yes, in English language, if I tell you before semester two, that is in semester one and even in class 9, 8, I never prepared for any sort of essay. I
Hmm.
just thought that what a topic is not told earlier.
Hmm.
So whatever comes in the exam, I used to write that on the spot. And that was probably the biggest mistake that I was committing for so many years.
Hmm.
So this is a subject which demands a lot of practice in order to get that high score.
Yeah.
So you need to train your mind very well for that, and you can do that by practicing as much as you can via pre-board papers. We had a lot of pre-board papers all over the country, PYQs, sample papers, and also quality essays which are written by Sir. They were amazing, and they really helped us on telling us like what should be your expression, how the content is written, how do you start with your introduction, content, and conclusion. So by doing this, it will ensure that you have a better flow of thoughts and ideas on the actual day of exam.
Yep.
The more practice you do, the better you will be when it comes to time management.
Yeah.
So make sure that you are aware of your strong as well as weak points when it comes to the kind of essay that you will be attempting. Always have a backup plan B with you in case plan A doesn't work well for you in the exam. Try to avoid grammatical errors and focus on your content, expression, and smart vocabulary.
Yeah.
Don't let the repetition of the same words and points happen.
Yeah.
You need to think first about the main points and then begin writing.
Yeah. So an organized mind, in short, is what Shreya is saying you need to have when you're attempting the essay. So tell the students about the importance of using those 15 minutes of reading time well. What should they do in those 15 minutes, ideally speaking, not in terms of, which question to kind of look for, but what should be the frame of mind during those 15 minutes on so that they are able to use every second efficiently?
So as far as if I talk specifically about English language in those 15 minutes, um, you don't have to sit idle and see what the other person is doing. Just sit with a calm mind and think what possible highlights or the main points you can actually write down and extend in your answer. Because if you are doing that later on, then you will get like anxiety, and then further on, your time will also be wasted. So make sure that you utilize those 15 minutes. Maybe write down in rough what the points you can write down for essay and in case of letter and the creative title. If you have done much of practice, it won't be that difficult for you. It will come all smooth. That's what I said. You need to train your mind. So your thoughts and ideas will come naturally to you.
Right, right. And when it comes to, say, a subject like, say, mathematics or, say, chemistry, what would you say again for those 15 minutes?
For subjects like maths or even science, just look at the questions which you know the best, which you can just start attempting as the time begins. And for MCQs also, like have a go through that. Okay, I know this. Maybe one or two MCQs you might not be knowing. Leave that for the end. Divide your paper in first, second, third round. First round should be like, okay, I will do all these questions and make. Now I think that there is choice in the exam. So you should be knowing that which set of questions are the ones which you know the best. Like you can't make any error in that. Choose that wisely and don't do that when the time actually begins, because again, it's just time wastage. So utilize that particular time thinking that, okay, I will start doing these questions first, and the ones which you feel like they're lengthy or they are difficult for you, do that in second round, and also have a buffer time at the end for 10 minutes so that you can revise and see, like have a one read at the end.
Right. I think this suggestion of a first round, second round, followed by a buffer round is a good and would actually make a lot of sense, especially with mathematics and the science subjects. Shreya,
Yes,
thank
it
you very
really
much.
helped me.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. But before leaving the interview, I would like to add a few more points. Can
Yes.
I?
Yes, please go ahead.
I would like to say that right now to all the students, you need to starve all your distractions and feed your focus and concentration. It's a matter of few weeks. Trust me, all the hustle and hard work that you're putting in at present will be all worth it on the result day. So I wish you all the very best to each one of you.
Yes, absolutely. It's a matter of what? Just about 6 weeks. So you give that
Yes,
6 weeks, I think you can kind of reap the harvest in the month of June, May, June, whenever the results are out. Absolutely. I completely agree with you, Shreya. All the best to you in all your endeavors for
Thank you so
your
much,
class
sir.
11 examinations. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.